Welcome to Bible in a Year with Scott Purcell. I'm so glad you're joining me. This is a daily reading of portions of the Bible, following a plan that will include the entire Bible in a year. And now, let's open the book and begin our readings. This is the reading for day 149. If your reading is aligned with the calendar year, in a non-leap year, this is for May 29th, or in a leap year, for May 28th. The Old Testament reading is from 1 Samuel chapter 24 and chapter 25. 1 Samuel 24. When Saul returned from pursuing the Philistines, they told him, "Look, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi." So Saul took 3,000 chosen men from all Israel, and he and his men went to search for David in the direction of the rocks of the mountain goats. He came to the sheep pens beside the road, and a cave was there. Then Saul went in to relieve himself. Now David and his men were sitting in the innermost part of the cavern. And David's men said to him, "Look, today is the day about which Yahweh said to you, 'See, I am giving your enemy into your hands, and you can do to him whatever seems good to you.'" So David got up and secretly cut the hem of Saul's robe. And then afterward David felt guilty because he had cut the hem of Saul's robe. He said to his men, "Far be it from me and Yahweh that I do this thing to my Lord, to Yahweh's anointed one, by stretching out my hand against him, for he is the anointed one of Yahweh." So David rebuked his men with the words and did not allow them to rise against Saul. And Saul got up from the cave, and he went on his way. Then David got up afterward and went out of the cave and called after Saul, "My lord the king." When Saul looked after him, David knelt down with his face to the ground and bowed down. Then David said to Saul, "Why do you listen to the words of people who say, 'Look, David is seeking to do you harm'? Look, this day your eyes have seen that Yahweh gave you today into my hand in the cave, and some said to kill you. But I took pity on you and said, I will not stretch out my hand against my Lord, because he is Yahweh's anointed one. Now, my father, see, yes, see the hem of your robe in my hand. For when I cut the hem of your robe, I did not kill you. Know and realize that there is no evil or rebellion in my hand. I did not sin against you, but you are hunting down my life to take it. May Yahweh judge between me and you, and may Yahweh avenge me on you, but my hand will not be against you. Just as the ancient proverb says, 'From the wicked, wickedness goes out, but my hand will not be against you.' After whom did the king of Israel go out? After whom are you pursuing? After a dead dog? After one flea? May Yahweh be the judge, and let him judge between me and you, and may he see and plead my case. May he vindicate me against you." When David finished speaking these words to Saul, Saul said, "Is this your voice, my son David?" And Saul lifted up his voice and wept. Then he said to David, "You are more righteous than I, for you have repaid me the good, but I have repaid you the evil. You have explained to me today that you have dealt well with me, how Yahweh delivered me into your hand, but you did not kill me. For a man has found his enemy, but sent him on his way safely. Now may Yahweh reward you with good in return for this day for what you have done for me. So now look, I know that you will certainly be king, and the kingdom of Israel will be established in your hand. So then, swear to me by Yahweh that you will not cut off my descendants after me, and that you will not wipe out my name from my father's house." So David swore this on oath to Saul, and Saul went to his house, but David and his men went up to the stronghold. 1 Samuel 25. Now Samuel died, And all Israel assembled and mourned for him. They buried him at his house at Ramah. Then David got up and went down to the wilderness of Paran. Now there was a man in Maon whose business was in Carmel. The man was very rich and owned 3,000 sheep and 1,000 goats. Now the shearing of his sheep was taking place in Carmel. The name of the man was Nabal, and the name of his wife was Abigail. Now the woman was wise and beautiful, but the man was stubborn and mean, and he was as his heart. David heard in the wilderness that Nabal was shearing his sheep. So David sent 10 young men, and David said to the young men, "Go up to Carmel and go to Nabal. You will greet him in my name. Then you must say to him, 'Long life to you, and may it go well with you, with your house, and with all that is yours.' Now I have heard that you have shearers. Now while your shepherds were with us, we did not mistreat them, and nothing of theirs was missing all the days they were in Carmel. Ask your servants, and they will tell you. Let the young men find favor in your eyes, because we have come on a feast day. Please give whatever you have on hand for your servants and for your son David." So David's young men came, and they spoke all these words to Nabal in the name of David. Then they waited. But Nabal answered David's servants and said, "Who is David, and who is the son of Jesse? Today there are many servants breaking away from the presence of their masters. Should I take my bread and my water and my meat, which I have slaughtered for my shearers, and give it to men whom I do not know where they are from?" So David's young men turned on their way and returned and came and told him according to all these words. Then David said to his men, "Each man strap on his sword." So each one strapped on his sword, and David also strapped on his sword. About 400 men went up after David, while 200 remained with the baggage. But a young man of the servants told Abigail, Nabal's wife, saying, "Look, David sent messengers from the desert to greet our master, but he addressed them angrily. Even though the men were very good to us, we were not mistreated and did not miss anything all the days we went about with them while we were in the field. They were a wall to us both night and day, all the days we were with them keeping the sheep. And so then, know and consider what you should do, for evil has been decided against our master and against all his household, and he is such a wicked man, nobody can reason with him." Then Abigail quickly took 200 loaves of bread, 2 skins of wine, 5 prepared sheep, 5 seahs of roasted grain, 100 raisin cakes, and 200 fig cakes, and she put them on the donkeys. Then she said to her servants, "Go ahead before me. Look, I am coming after you." But she did not tell her husband Nabal. And then, as she was riding on the donkey and was going down the ravine of the mountain, David and his men were coming down to meet her, and she met them. Now David had said, "Surely in vain I guarded all that this fellow had in the desert, and nothing was missed of all that was his, but he returned evil against me in place of good. May God severely punish the enemies of David, and again do thus if I leave behind anything that is his until the morning, not even one male." When Abigail saw David, she hurried and got down from the donkey and fell on her face before David's anger, and she bowed down to the ground. She fell at his feet and said, "On me, my lord, be the guilt. Please let your female servant speak to you personally. Hear the words of your female servant. Please do not let my lord set his heart against this worthless man Nabal, for as his name, so is he. Nabal is his name, and stupidity is with him. But I, your female servant, did not see the young men of my lord whom you sent. So then, my lord, as Yahweh lives and as your soul lives, since Yahweh restrained you from blood guilt by taking matters into your own hand, so then may your enemies be like Nabal, even those who seek to do my Lord harm. So then, this gift which your female servant has brought to my Lord, may it be given to the young men who follow my Lord. Please forgive the transgression of your female servant, because Yahweh will certainly make a lasting house for my Lord, because my Lord is fighting the battles of Yahweh, and evil will not be found in you as long as you live. Should a man arise to pursue you and to seek your life, may the life of my Lord be wrapped in the pouch of the living with Yahweh your God. But as for the life of your enemy, he will sling it from within the pocket of the sling. And then, when Yahweh has done for my Lord according to all the good that he has spoken concerning you, and has appointed you as leader over Israel, then this will not be an obstacle for you, or a stumbling block of conscience for my Lord, either by the shedding of blood without cause, or by my Lord taking matters into his own hands. And when Yahweh does good to my Lord, then remember your female servant." Then David said to Abigail, "Blessed be Yahweh, the God of Israel, who has sent you this day to meet me. And blessed be your discretion. And blessed be you who have prevented me this day from blood guilt and from delivering myself by my own hand. But as Yahweh lives, the God of Israel, who has prevented me from harming you, if you had not hurried and come to meet me, surely there would not have been one male left alive for Nabal by the light of morning." Then David took from her hand what she had brought for him, and he said to her, "Go up to your house in peace. See, I have listened to your voice, and I have granted your request." Then Abigail went to Nabal, and look, he was holding a feast in his house like the feast of the king. Nabal was enjoying himself, and he was very drunk. So she did not tell him a thing, nothing at all, until the light of morning. And then in the morning, when the wine had gone out of Nabal, his wife told him these words. Then his heart died within him, and he became like a stone. And then, about 10 days later, Yahweh struck Nabal, and he died. When David heard that Nabal had died, he said, "Blessed be Yahweh, who has vindicated the case of my reproach from the hand of Nabal, and he has kept back his servant from evil. But Yahweh has returned the evil of Nabal on his own head." Then David sent and spoke with Abigail to take her for his wife. So the servants of David came to Abigail at Carmel, and they spoke to her, saying, "David has sent us to you to take you for his wife." She got up and bowed down with her face to the ground and said, "Here is your female servant, as a slave to wash the feet of my Lord's servants." Then Abigail quickly got up and rode on the donkey along with 5 of her maidservants who attended her, and she went after the messengers of David and became his wife. David had also taken Ahinoam from Jezreel, and both of them became his wives. Now Saul had given his daughter Michal, David's wife, to Palti the son of Laish, who was from Galim. The New Testament reading is from John chapter 18, from verse 25 through verse 40. John 18:25. Now Simon Peter was standing there and warming himself. So they said to him, "You are not also one of his disciples, are you?" He denied it and said, "I am not." One of the slaves of the high priest, who was related to the one whose ear Peter had cut off, said, "Did I not see you in the garden with him?" So Peter denied it again, and immediately a rooster crowed. Then they brought Jesus from Caiaphas to the governor's residence. Now it was early, and they did not enter into the governor's residence so that they would not be defiled, but could eat the Passover. So Pilate came outside to them and said, "What accusation do you bring against this man?" They answered and said to him, "If this man were not doing evil, we would not have handed him over to you." So Pilate said to them, "You take him and judge him according to your law." The Jews said to him, "It is not permitted for us to kill anyone. in order that the words of Jesus would be fulfilled that he had spoken, indicating by what sort of death he was going to die. Then Pilate entered again into the governor's residence and summoned Jesus and said to him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "Do you say this from yourself, or have others said this to you about me?" Pilate replied, "I am not a Jew, am I? Your people and the chief priest handed you over to me. What have you done?" Jesus replied, "My kingdom is not of this world. If my kingdom were of this world, my servants would be fighting, so that I would not be handed over to the Jews. But now my kingdom is not from here." Then Pilate said to him, "So then you are a king?" Jesus replied, "You say that I am a king. For this reason I was born, and for this reason I have come into the world, in order that I can testify to the truth. Everyone who is of the truth hears my voice." Pilate said to him, "What is truth?" And when he had said this, he went out again to the Jews and said to them, "I find no basis for an accusation against him. But it is your custom that I release for you one prisoner at the Passover. So do you want me to release for you the King of the Jews?" Then they shouted again, saying, "Not this man, but Barabbas." Now Barabbas was a revolutionary. The wisdom literature reading is from Psalm 68, verse 15 through verse 20. Psalm 68, 15. A mountain of God is the mountain of Bashan. A mountain of many peaks is the mountain of Bashan. Why do you look with hostility, O many-peaked mountains? This mountain God desires for his dwelling. Yes, Yahweh will abide in it forever. The chariots of God are twice 10,000, with thousands doubled. The Lord is among them at Sinai, distinctive in victory. You have ascended on high. You have led away captives. You have received gifts from among humankind and even from the rebellious, so that Yah, God, may dwell there. Blessed be the Lord. Daily he loads us with benefits, the God of our salvation. Our God is a God of deliverances, and to the Yahweh the Lord belong escapes from death. This concludes the reading for day 149. Thank you for listening. These daily readings are made possible by your generous support of the global outreach ministry of Scott Purcell. To partner with us and enable this work and others like it, please visit huttobible.com/give and select Go Pastor Support from the fund list. You can also sign up for ministry updates at scott-purcell.epistle.org/subscribe. Both of those links can be found in the podcast description. Thank you for helping us share God's Word.